What is good, YouTube? This is your boy Aaron,
It's Brian.
and this is the Courtside View podcast, and we are back today. And man, the NBA is near. It's almost time. And you know we got to discuss. We got to give our NBA preview real quick. And I have to say this, Brian. This is going to be one of the most important seasons for the NBA moving forward. And let me explain why. I say that because there's a lot of things that can alter the trajectory of the NBA in the future. Number one has to do with load management. If you haven't heard, NBA has instituted a new load management policy. And let's see here. Let me get it real quick.
Isn't it you can't rest two all-star caliber players in a single night?
Yes. So here it is. Number one, no more than one star player is unavailable for the same game. That's off rip. Number two, teams must ensure that star players are available for national TV and in-season tournament games. That's number two.
Mm.
Number three, teams must maintain a balance between the number of one-game absences for a star player in home games and road games, with the preference for those absences to happen in home games. So pretty much, listen, make sure that you don't load manage on the road. That's what that sounds like to
Mm.
me. And I agree, because that load managing on the road, that's just the worst feeling in the world for fans. Number four, teams must refrain from any long-term shutdown or near shutdown when a star player stops participating in games or plays in materially reduced role in circumstances affecting the integrity of the game. So I would say, remember when Anthony Davis, that whole thing before he got traded to the Lakers, they pretty much like reduced his minutes and then started to shut him down. Um, Another thing that's a big issue: teams must ensure that healthy players resting for a game are present and visible to fans. Okay, so those are the new rules. That's going to be a big deal going forward, because one of the big issues when it comes to the NBA, one of the biggest criticisms has been load management. So I'm glad that they instituted a new policy, because this has been an ongoing thing ever since Greg Popovich and the Spurs have done it. So the next thing is the passing of the torch. What I mean by that is Victor Wembanyama coming into the NBA, and LeBron James, he's on his way out. Stephen Curry, he's eventually going to be on his way out. Kevin Durant as well. So it is imperative, it is essential that Victor Wembanyama stays healthy and that he reaches his potential, because they're going to need him in the future to be the face of the league. And so far, seeing some of his preseason games, he looks like the real deal. Uh, and then the next, I think it's like one more thing: super teams. So this year, it's not going to be the last time we'll see super teams, but this experiment may be one of the last times we will ever see a team like really like go for it all and trying to implement a super team. And if it fails this year, I look at the Bucks with Middleton, with Dame, with Giannis. I look at the Suns with Durant, Beal, Booker. If they don't pan out, I feel like teams are going to be very, very hesitant in saying, okay, we're going to implement a super team, because of the cap situation moving forward, and because players are getting more injured than ever. So those are the three things that I'm looking into when it comes to this season and how important it's going to be for the future. What is your thoughts?
Um, let's start with the load management stuff first. Um, I'm glad that they actually implemented rules and regulations for load management pools, for players sitting out, and I didn't really think about the whole away versus home aspect because it does make sense for players. It would make sense for players to load manage at home because they can see you whenever you get a home game. But I never thought about it being on the road. It's like, well, this could be their one or second chance, two chances to see you, and you sitting on the bench. So it's cool the NBA implemented that. I didn't even think about that aspect of resting players and whatnot. So yeah, I'm glad that the so you can only so if I'm remembering correctly, you can only rest one star player a night.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And you said the other one was what was the other rule?
So it was the teams must ensure that star players are available for national TV and in-season tournament games.
There we go. That's the real interesting part here because everyone was like before the season start, well, like before it was even implemented, when people where there were talks about an in-season tournament, fans would just be like, "Oh, they would just rest their players." Well, guess what? You can't rest your players now for the in-season tournament. You got to put your guys out there. You got to compete. So that makes this a lot more interesting. But I
Mm-hmm.
still think there needs to be some type of other incentives for that in-season tournament to get fans interested in watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm actually listen. I know I get on the NBA's case a lot. I'm actually looking forward to this season,
Mm.
surprisingly,
Mm.
because I'm not going to lie. As much as an NFL guy I've been, the games just haven't been all that great. I'm gonna be honest with you. And the slate we got coming up tomorrow, I will be playing Spider-Man and having Red Zone pulled up on my laptop. That's how much I care about the games tomorrow. But yeah, on the other hand, you said passing the torch, LeBron to possibly Victor Wembanyama. Now Vic has been pretty good. Like I've seen some created player alien type plays he did, like that one play he was jumping out of bounds and he did the behind the back pass. I'm like, someone 7'3" should not be able to do that. It's ridiculous. And then what he did against the Warriors, if you look at the stat sheet, you probably like, well, he didn't really shoot that well. But if you watch the game and the plays he was making, he was all over the court at one point. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I pray he stays healthy. I really do because if he does, so side note, someone said they need to ban Victor from the league before he turns 25 if he's going to continue to go at the rate he does. And honestly, this is some revolutionary stuff right here, man. This is truly something we've never seen before in our lifetime. So I'm really looking forward. I really hope that torch gets passed down and Wembanyama becomes the best player in the league because that's going to be some phenomenal, exciting basketball to see for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And the last point you said,
I said
what'd you say
super
again?
teams.
Oh yeah, super teams. I've been said the super team era was over simply because it just wasn't working, and teams that had more balanced rosters would go see more success in the playoffs versus teams that would be put together with three-star players. And I'm glad that there's now. I don't even think this is really a anti-super team thing. I think this was an anti-Warriors thing because the Warriors were known for being paying the luxury tax so they could pay their guys and competing with that roster. But now it seems like the I say NFL, NBA Player Association was hell bent on stopping the Warriors from doing what they do with as far as roster building and giving their drafted players contracts. So then it's just that super teams got hit as a byproduct of that. So yeah, man, I figured it's only what I wouldn't even say the Bucks are a super team really. I don't think they're a super team.
You're
They're
not
just a
big
well put
Chris
together
Middleton.
team. He, if this was 2021, then yeah, I'd say it was a super team. But as of right now, no. The only real super team you could say out there, the Suns, but
Okay.
they're a super team with a major flaw
Major flaw.
in just defense. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this season plays out. And your point on it being kind of a measuring stick for how the league moves in the future is, I think, is spot on.
Mm. You see, real journalism right there. You feel me? I am bringing up the right topics at the right time because I'm telling you, this year is going to be something special. It's going to be something different, and I just can't wait.